We're here at Media Day ahead of Top Tier's Capitalise show, which is taking place on March the 30th from the iconic York Hall in London. The first time for Top Tier, and I'm joined by promoter Johnny Clark. This is a big one. Yeah. Something different.
Something very different, and on Mother's Day as well, and on a Sunday, so pushing the boundaries as always. But I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I wasn't bored of the promoting and bored of Brentwood Centre, but sometimes the change is good. And it has definitely lifted me and got me a bit more excited. And obviously having a great show with great opponents, it helps. And a new venue, so yeah, buzzing.
And of all the venues, it is the iconic York Hall. So much history in boxing there as well.
Yeah, it's special, very special. Small hall, where it is actually a small hall, you know, it's made for boxing really. And it's different to Brentwood, because Brentwood, we make it a boxing arena, whereas York Hall, it's just where I said it's made for boxing. I can't wait to see the top tier atmosphere in there. Obviously with the 50-50 fights, the wars, you can feel all previous fights, ghosts come out the walls. I was there watching my first boxing show when I started working, and it was, I think you was there, Boxing Social show.
Oh yeah.
And Jordan Perkis won the southern area there. And the fans, where they're over the ring, oh mate, it was just exciting, very exciting. And it's saying that I thought, well, I'll do a show here one day, but I always wanted to be away from everyone in my own lane. And then I feel like we've built a brand, it's time to go on a top tier tour, and York Hall was definitely the one.
Yeah, and that is taking place very soon. It seems very quick since the last show. Is this quicker than normal, or is it just because time's flying?
I think a bit of both. 8 weeks, yeah, and then the next show is 8 weeks after that, so yeah, they're coming around quick. And like I said, where York Hall is already a boxing venue, you can't spend too much money in there. Where Brentwood, you spend a lot of money to make it fit a boxing show. So yeah, it helps me on the money wise do more shows a year. So it's another reason. And obviously Ursu being the Moldova monster, a lot more Moldovans can get to York Hall than coming out in the sticks in Essex. And I think that should help build his brand and the company as well.
Let's talk about the card then. So you just mentioned Constantine Ursu taking on Ethan James for the Commonwealth welterweight title. How much of, I mean, how important is it, the fact that you've got a Commonwealth title on the card? It's
massive. I've had the silver with him. He's defended it. I've had the female Commonwealth, but I've always had a great relationship with Debbie, and she's a fan of Ursu. And we won the final eliminator for the British and the Commonwealth. And then Eddie Earns sneaked in and nicked the fight in front of us. And I messaged the board and the Commonwealth and said, look, I paid for a final eliminator. I am only small hall, but I think it's fair that maybe one of the belts should come to me and leave them the other belt to fight for. And the Commonwealth said, no, we agree. If the boxers agree to release the belt after they fight, then we're happy to put that on. So I agreed the match for Ethan James, but Ethan James is not going to fight Ursu unless there's a belt on the line. So I'm thinking, okay. So really, Harry Scarf was meant to win. And I know his manager, so it's a lot easier, but Harry Scarf didn't win. Conor Walker won. And to get the belt, I thought it was going to be a bit of a battle. But obviously, it's the Moldova monster, so it was easier than expected. And the belt come on. And listen, it's the first time I've been nervous about Ursu fighting. Normally, you think, the other geezer's all right, but this one, WBO European champ, Queensbury fighter, headliner, you know, I am nervous. And he put something up the other day. Then I replied, he went, don't worry, mate, I'm getting itchy knuckles. And I was like, oh, shit. I wrote back, don't make me nervous. Do you know what I mean? Whereas normally you're full of confidence in him. But now this is where he's at. He's 11, 12 and 0. You've got to step up. And this is the perfect opponent for him. Perfect.
So as manager, difficult, but as promoter, what a perfect fight for a headline.
Yeah, and to be fair, both of them reasons. I want him to progress, but also want him to be tested. I keep calling him the Moldova monster and telling everyone how good he is. I've seen it in the gyms with sparring. I've seen him lose 2 rounds this whole camp in sparring. That's it. And that needs to come out on fight night. And it won't be long before he's snapped up by the big boys, I know that. But first we deal with the Queensbury boxer, and then if everything goes to plan, we'll be fighting for the British against the Matchroom boxer. So we go through every roster, and then hopefully one of them put their hand in the pocket and give him what he deserves, and that's a big deal.
There is plenty of other fights on the undercard as well. Some really exciting fights, actually. You've got newbies coming on, and you've got some of the top tier favourites as well coming along to York Hall.
Yeah, it's everyone's excited because obviously always been at Brentwood Centre, the setup's the same, with even like today, the media day's in a different venue. But everyone's excited for a little bit of change, and listen, Essex is very good for boxing, but to go to London is a little bit better. And obviously Kevin Revell and Grant Dennis, Kent versus Essex, it's good to have it on neutral ground as well. I don't know what happened on the last media day, but they seem to have a little grudge match going on now, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out today and in the ring, because I think it's probably could steal the show. As in fight, I think that Ursu's going to be a boxing match, but I think that's going to be probably fight of the night, Grant and Kevin, yeah.
And you've got co-main Kevin Ajarko's coming over, first time on Top Tier. Yeah,
what I like about that is all these boxers would love to be where Kevin is. Like what he's done in boxing, he's reached the heights, you know, and he was so close. But in boxing, what I've realised is you either the flavour or you may drop out of, you know, like everyone's taste and that. And what he's done is dropped down, he's come on a small hall show, sold tickets, you know, fought a game opponent, and he's rebuilding himself rather than just sulking and, you know, not giving it his all still in boxing. He's took himself away, swallowed his pride, put his ego to one side, and he's come here and he's fighting a game opponent who used to be 2 weights up, who's coming down. And I just think it's something that, an experience like when we had the Matchroom boys on, they showed everyone how to do your media, how to sell your tickets, how to perform on fight night, how to make weight. You know, it was really professional. And what he's doing, I hope like even what's his name, Ethan James, like he's really done the same, but Queensbury are looking after him a bit. But maybe Ursu one day, when he gets up there, he's going to be avoided, the same as Kevin. So you might have to swallow your pride, drop down, get a few wins to get back up there. Kevin's 8th in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like he's fighting on Top Tier. So it's crazy, but I think it's good for the other boxers to watch him, to learn off him, and you know, take that experience in from his.
And we've seen the rise in the last few years of women's boxing. You've generally always had a female fighter on the card.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change this show. I think you've got 2 this time.
Yeah, it's not done on purpose. I generally am a fan of women's boxing. I think it works really well. They normally sell the most tickets, and they have a noisy crowd, but with a different tone. Obviously, where there's more women screaming. But yeah, obviously Laura was back on. She was injured on the last show. Come back on this show, different opponent now though. But I'm eager to watch her, and obviously she was a bit upset because Eddie Hearn was at the show, and she's 8-0. You know, people normally got a world title around the waist that record. So yeah, I'm buzzing to see her back on the card.
And Stevie Levy is on the card.
She's
entertaining.
Mad. She is mad. The amount of messages I've had of her, I can't even reply to them. I get another one and another one. She's like, sorry if I keep messaging. I thought, I haven't read the first one. But she's lively and she's professional as well. And I see her the same as Kevin. Like, I know she's got a big fight lined up after this, so it's a stay busy fight, but she's done everything correct, you know. And yeah, she's a name as well. Do you know what I mean? It's a good name to have on. And again, the others can watch her, learn from her, and see what she does and mimic it, really, yeah.
So, a particular standout fight you're most excited for?
Do you know what? It would have to be Kevin Grant, Kevin and Hardy Collison, and Ursu and Ethan. Like they're the 3 ones. But then Top Tier would always, something will surprise you, you know. And Zach Fee's actually got a good step up in opponent. He's got Darwin Martinez. His profile picture, Darwin, is the poster photo, and he's an away fighter journeyman, apparently. But you know he's going to come and give it a good go, so I'm excited to see if Zach can step up. His last performance was all right, but I think this one is going to be a tougher opponent.
First 8-rounder as well.
Yeah, and you know, like records, they don't really mean much. His last opponent had a winning record, but this one hits harder and is coming to win. So this is probably his toughest fight to date. And he's got to pace himself over the 8 rounds. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where he gets to. And then, obviously, Ross Driscoll, he's got a tough opponent who's coming to win the same. He tagged me yesterday, Paris. Are you ready, Ross? I'm coming for you. So I thought, all right, mate. So I'm looking forward. And unfortunately, Paris, he lost his dad last week. So he's putting it all into boxing. So, yeah, he's coming all the way from Greece to fight Ross, and he's not come here to lay down. And that's what the Top Tier is about, and I'm so glad that I'm getting to show York Hall what top tier is about. Even a journeyman, you're not come here to lay down. I want you to come and put on a show and test our young prospects.
Yeah, we have seen that at the shows.
Yeah.
Even if they are journeymen, they've come to win.
I've got a great photo of Conor Hathaway with his feet in the air where he got knocked down by Luke Fash. I send it to him every day sometimes, so just the way I am. But that's the type of fights we want. We want your chin checked. I want to see if you've got the fitness and if you're durable. And listen, because if you're not, against someone like that, when you step up, you're going to find out that boxing ain't for you.
So you are looking forward to something a bit different and heading to the capital, hence Capitalise.
Capitalise, clever, wasn't it, when I done
Very
that?
good.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. Change is good. A lot of people don't like change. Sometimes I admit that's me, but for me, it's a good change. Something different. It's got me excited. Like when you're putting on a show 10 times in the same hall, you don't even have to think. You know, you wake up, you know what you're doing. Now I'm a bit nervous, making sure that everything's been ticked, all the forms have been done. You know, like when you've been there a few times, everyone's got their role. Like even Matt and the boys, they don't know where they're going to put their Wi-Fi dongles. Do you know what I mean? So we've got to go there and scope it out, and I'm excited to have a change, definitely.
It should be a good one. Well, not long to go. That is taking place from the iconic York Hall on March the 30th, live on DAZN.